What can I say? Sound therapy has shown me so many amazing things. It helps people to identify within themselves, where their emotions are stuck and what the things are that are holding them back. You get a physical relationship with your body that helps you identify patterns within yourself emotionally, change your thoughts and behaviors, uh, via getting more awareness of that your physical, emotional, and mental bodies all have a symbiotic relationship. What you do for one will affect the other. Um, Now, most matter is subject to sound. When sound is heard, things start to vibrate. People start to dance. I mean, sound therapy allows people to go deep, deep, deep into their bodies because we're dealing with the lowest and the highest of the vibrations that our body can interact with. The one thing I like about sound therapy is, I see people go through, years and years of psychotherapy, which is great, and I think, those kind of therapies are important. But with people with severe traumas or people that are in the middle of really wanting to work on themselves, find useful tools that they can use on their own to shift and change, sound therapy works. Within a few treatments, you can see rapid results in dealing with trauma, specifically physical trauma, sexual abuse trauma, even wartime trauma. Emotional abuse, or a teacher who said something to you that stuck with you for a long period of time, or a relative who spoke to you in a certain way, your own repeating things that you use to beat yourself down, or your own depressive ways, your own mind or emotions constantly conflicting with each other. Once this stuff reveals to people memories, experiences, stuff that they've dreamt about, and it's very, very consistent, where when somebody's holding an emotional space here and they're not getting resonance, or they're not getting resonance here, or they're not feeling resonance here, it always reveals the same pattern no matter who the person is. That's really the fascinating part that made me decide to switch from being a touring performing musician to somebody who wanted to seek more about sound therapy. Sound's going to show you that there's an extra layer to who you are. The sound always reveals that to people and allows you to observe yourself being anxious, allows you to observe yourself being depressed. Now, what's the importance of that? Once you have that, you can start to do something about it. Awareness is the key as we go through our mental health development and changes. With sound therapy, it's the kind of thing that you got to come in here and experience it to really understand what's going on and see what it's about. I mean, we really, really do get down to the heart of stuff. We take this very seriously. We take your mental, emotional health and wellness very seriously. And we know that it's a process. So, when you come in and you commit your time here, we're working. We're working on you, and you're working on you, and then you leave empowered to be able to take care of yourself. And whenever you need to tune up, you just come back in. I mean, if you want to understand some of the aspects of how it works and what the different instruments do, because they each play their own role in this sort of amazing heightening of awareness of self and others, you got to check out the rest of the videos we have on here that explains each instrument and how they work. And like I said before, if you really want to understand it, come by for a sound bath. Or if you're really brave and you really want to just dive in, why don't you buy a pack of one-on-one treatments, and let's really, really, really get to finding the core of your happiness. Now, you can't really understand how sound therapy is going to impact your work until you show up. A one-on-one sound therapy is performed individually on a person, and it's unique to them because I never know before you come in and I test the instruments against you and you feel them and you're telling me what you're feeling and I'm listening for what the instruments are responding. We're not going to know what's going on until that happens. People have sort of said to me mid-treatment, "Oh, wait, how did you figure that out about me?" Well, it's through years of consistent repetition and it revealing the same thing in multiple people. When somebody says they're not feeling the resonance here, and I say, well, that has something to do with about your self-image. How did you know that about me? I said, you're not feeling confident about who you are and how you're being in the world. That's a consistent thing with everybody, and it lines up with a lot of traditional and ancient theologies, as well as some of the new modern science about psychology. It's very, very fascinating. You can only understand if you actually come in and try it yourself.